Bueno amigos, bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio del IA Podcast, el IA Podcast que está pisando fuerte con nuevos episodios aquí. Ya estamos en el episodio número 7, número 7 después de tanto que ha pasado. Y el día de hoy estoy muy emocionado porque tenía muchas ganas de traer con ustedes el tema sobre el mundo del cosplay. Y bueno, realmente tenemos por fin el honor de tener algún invitado el día de hoy. Realmente tengo que darles este aviso desde el principio. Este podcast va a ser en inglés, también para las personas que nos están escuchando en Spotify. Va a ser en inglés, pero el episodio va a tener subtítulos en español en cuanto a YouTube. Así que si lo estás escuchando, amigo, en Spotify, pero no entiendes el inglés, pues bueno, tú puedes venir. Claro, eres bienvenido a YouTube. Vamos a cambiar el switch en inglés ahora mismo. And now we are very exciting to have a special guest here for talking of the world of cosplay. So it's an honor to me introduce to you to Josephine, that he's here in the episode number 7 of the IA podcast. Hi Josephine, how are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. This is so cool.
It's so cool. I like all the setup that you have. That incredible dress looks really cool. And I'm really excited for this interview. And thank you for your kindness in accepting this invitation. Because we finally have a cosplayer, sorry. And that will help us, to all of us, to know about this incredible world. So, like an introduction to the people, what can you tell us, and what do you do, and where we can find you in the social media and this kind of stuff, you know?
Well, I'm a cosplayer, which kind of encompasses like a lot of different things. I'm a seamstress separately as well, even though that's included in cosplay. I'm like a singer on the side, and
Okay.
yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Retrosnowwhite. And I have an Etsy shop if you're interested in like maybe talking about commissions, opal crystal designs. And my website is sewnbyjosephine.com. And I might be making another website soon to sell stuff because I'm a designer as well, but not made yet in the process.
Okay, so you can hear that. There's like a lot of people that I would say, all the link. I will let the link in the description below to all your social media, so you can, all that you are listening this and being this by Spotify and by YouTube, you can listen and see the work of Josephine there, and yeah, supporting her, because this is a world that probably is something that I always say is that the COVID-19 affects to all of us, and probably this kind of a job or this kind of hobbies for all the cosplayers are really affected too. But we are gonna discuss that in the future of this podcast. A lot of people talking about cosplayers, just thinking the final result, you know, but I'm pretty sure that for this kind of costumes or this kind of attires, there are a lot of work behind of them. How can you describe the day by day of a cosplayer?
It really depends, you know, like some days I don't even feel like a cosplayer. I kind of just do regular stuff, I guess. But like as of right now, when you're crunched for time, like you're trying to get something ready for a con, you know, which those are coming back now after COVID, you know, you'll go months with, you know, maybe every once in a while you work on something to all day. Okay, I need to make a schedule. Like I need to get my wig dyed and ready, you know,
Yeah.
and style it and everything, or restyling stuff or hand washing stuff, because you can't really wash practically anything, you know, and then like, yeah, it gets really complicated, especially with the sewing stuff. It's usually like getting the project started is the hardest part. And then once you get into it, it's a lot easier to do, but I procrastinate too. So there's that
Okay.
also.
Like everyone, I think. And yeah, there are people who is very into it, and I'm pretty sure that this like a lot of people consider that this is a new kind of job, or this is a new kind of revolutionary jobs. Like someone say that this kind of typical like YouTubers or streamers and cosplayers, all that ends in earth, you know, and yeah, I think that it's really important to know about these dimensions or all that stuff that surround this kind of activity, and a lot of this talking about cosplay, cosplay as a job. Can people living from it? You think that can people living from it? And there are people who want to enter this world. What will you say to them?
Well, firstly, I just want to say, like, number one, and it's very easy to forget this, especially with like Instagram and everything, is like, make sure if you do this, it's because you firstly want to do it. Like, you will feel happier, you know, because it can bring a lot of stress as well. You know, like, not everyone makes all their stuff. You know, everyone does it differently. Some people, you know, just purely do it for fun. That's great. Some people, like, I kind of mix pleasure and work, not necessarily the greatest thing, you know. And then some people are just like, no, I want to be professional, you know, and they go really all out. It's definitely easier if you're extroverted, I would say. Like, I'm personally either an introvert or like an ambivert. And you have to be really good at networking. Like, if you want to like be really big, you have to go and talk to people, you know, and it's for me, I'm always like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm scared. But yeah, like, usually they're all pretty nice, especially if you're at a con, the perfect space to just like talk to everybody, you know, everyone's super like, because we're all doing the same kind of, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, just like, don't go into it expecting, you know, a fast result, because it is not. Like, you know, I'm happy where I am now, but it's still been like years and years of like work, and you know, it's very easily like discouraging when it's like, oh, this cosplay I worked really hard on, you know, didn't get as liked as much as this other one I didn't work as much on. But again, it's like, it doesn't matter. It should just be like, okay, you did it for you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people see this like more than like a hobby, you know, that like as a job. And with all this that you have commented about the different kind of situations that you have to dress this kind of stuff in different like competitions, like Comic Cons or this kind of events, you know. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that is seeing and listening this on Spotify are really interested in this kind of profession, in that kind of stuff. Of if you are gonna enter for the very first time, you have to know that with a lot of different professions, how we are talking in this kind of podcast, that the name is Dimensions, actually. Talking a little bit of the competitions, have you participated in cosplay competitions, and how was your experience the day you won? Because I read a little bit about you, about that you have won a competition, I think. And yeah, what went through your head by these kind of competitions?
Well, it was actually kind of interesting because I haven't entered a ton, but I have entered quite a few different ones. And it was actually, I've only won a few different times, but the first time I won was actually my very first costume I ever made. And it was the costume that really like got me into cosplay. I don't really cosplay her as much anymore. It was Rey. I've kind of phased out with her a bit, but like, I'll still always appreciate it, you know. But it was so cool. I was so surprised because like, I didn't know if I would win. It was like a small to medium sized con, I guess. And everyone was super nice. Honestly, like, my favorite part about it was talking to the other cosplayers who were also competing, because we'd be like backstage all in a line, and we'd be like, oh, how'd you make this? You know, and then you're like, you don't feel as crazy like talking about like, oh yeah, other people do this too, because you talk to regular people and they're always like, you're a cosplayer? What? You like dress up for like fun? And I'm like, yeah, like, but I work really hard on it. Like, it takes me years to do this stuff. Like, yeah. But yeah, it was so cool. I was super happy, and everyone was super nice. You know, like every competition is super different. You get completely different judges. You know, they have completely different personalities in the competition. You know, but this was like a really cool. Like, it's best to definitely, you know, don't start out with like San Diego Comic-Con. Like, that's not a good starter one. You know, it's gonna be
Yeah,
really rough.
absolutely. That's
Yeah.
like the last
last
step, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, how I said in the beginning, it's an honor that you are here for this Dimension podcast because since I saw your account, I'm pretty sure that you definitely look like a winner of a competition. Yeah, I saw a little bit of all the different cosplays that you have made, and it's some incredible ideas. That I got for you for an inspiration, and I'm pretty sure that for a lot of kids, probably. Um, so congrats. No, no problem. So congrats on winning that competition, and I'm pretty sure that that's the first one of many. And now, talking about the cosplaying of the concept like that of the world as it is. What is cosplaying for you? I mean, for doing this, how do you wake up in the morning and say, yeah, cosplay is really what I love to do, you know? And what means cosplay, the word cosplay for you?
For me, it's kind of like a mixture of therapy. Like,
Okay.
you know, like
Yeah.
you could kind of zone out and just be like, I'm just gonna focus on this beating, you know, or something. But also, I've always loved costumes in general. Like, so for part of me, and again, everyone does it differently, but for me personally, my favorite thing is screen accuracy. Like, I like knowing that, okay, when I'm done, I have basically like a recreation of a costume that I love, you know, and I can look at it and go, yeah, I basically like, you know, like my goal one day, if I have a lot of money ever, is to like get mannequins and just display all of them and be like, these are all my recreations I've done. And then of course some of them, you know, it's fun doing also some that are like animated characters and stuff, because you can kind of like still make it accurate, but you can like take liberties with like the fabrics, you know, like I love fabric, and just like, you know, making it kind of like more personal. And I don't know, it's kind of just like my favorite like art form, I guess, because it combines like a lot of different things that I like acting, you know, mixed with like, you know, like seems like being a seamstress and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's a huge thing because you say that you're a seamstress, so that means that you make your own costumes by 0 to 100%. I mean, because there are some cosplayers that buy the things or, you know, make more easily their cosplays. And definitely, I always have said that this is like an actor or an actress work, because you have to feel the character, but not only. Instead of make a performance, you have to create it from 0. And like you said, you can put your own original things, you know, in the costumes. It don't has to be like the same costume of the movie, you know, or different kind of stuff. Yeah, you have to create since the very beginning, like the makeup, like the costumes, like the wigs sometimes. And talking about all of this, I wanted to ask you, I understand that, like I said before, you are a seamstress, and perhaps it means that you make your own cosplays. I don't know if everything that you have done, but some of them maybe you made it from 0. And how's the process to make a cosplay? I mean, since the very idea to the 100%, to have the, you know, all everything finished. How is this process?
There's definitely some overlap, but like if we just go, like, let's say I'm recreating like a Harley Quinn like film costume, you know, because especially with the film costumes, I'm like, okay, I need to get this 100% exactly the same, you know, for just for my sanity. um, Basically, I go on Google. Like, first of all, thank the internet. I could not be cosplay without the internet.
Okay.
But so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this costume. Basically, I go on Google, I type in the costume, I see if it's been on display anywhere, because that's where you really get, you know, the detail shots. Like in a movie, you can, you know, pause, you can kind of look and see, but the lighting is different. You know, they might have shot it to where like you can't notice certain things, or you just straight up don't see certain things. So like when you see it on display is really, really helpful, because you can go, oh, okay, I can, you know, especially if it's like an HD picture. I've done that so many times. I'm like, okay, let me zoom in as much as I can zoom in and get notice every little thing. And, you know, sometimes they'll have like the fabrics listed that they use, which is super helpful, you know, like on the display thing. Or if I can't find that, I go, you know, I try to go on different forums and see if anyone else has talked about, oh, you know, I think it's this kind of fabric. And then someone usually will be like, oh, I did this. It's definitely this, you know, and you can obviously look and see, okay. Or, you know, like, especially now it's helpful because now that I've done it more, it's easier to notice things like, oh, okay, that's definitely a hook and eye enclosure on that. Or like, oh, I know what kind of bee that is. I don't need to like search green thing and then hope after like searching for 2 weeks I find it, or months or something. Like sometimes you literally have to look for months to find the exact thing, which is partly why like it can literally take me years to finish these things.
Yeah.
Like literally mixed with like procrastination, mixed with money. I have to save up. Like I'll buy like, you know, because especially if you're recreating exactly from a movie, they have like a ton of money. I don't, you know, so I'm like, okay, I have $50 right now. I can buy this one fabric for her pants or whatever. Okay, and then 2 months later, I'm like, now I can afford this, and you know, so it's a very, very long process. You know, talking to other cosplayers, see if they figured it out. You know, and pretty much.
Absolutely agree, and that's what I wanted to the people to know, because this is a different, an incredible process. I mean, it's a whole world behind of a costume, and definitely this is what makes, I think, original to a cosplayer to another cosplayer. You know, because the process is different, and even if they are making the same costume, it will be different at the end, and that's the really interesting thing, to see the final results. And changing a little bit of topic, sorry, I saw something, but I don't know if it's true. You can tell me, and I think that you said it in the beginning that you are a singer too. Well, like everyone, I know that you like to sing. I love to sing too, but it doesn't mean that I sing well. And here's an interesting question, because talking a little bit like making a mixture in the world of the sing and the world of the cosplay. If you have the power to make an union between your two patients, like I don't know if these are your two patients, but I'm pretty sure that you like these two activities, that maybe are cosplay and singing, how would you do it? Maybe a cosplay that can sing in or make a performance in a Comic-Con or something like that?
Actually, it's I'm actually working on doing that actually currently.
Oh, really?
For Sailor Moon, I'm planning on going to Anime California. I've never been there. Everyone always is like, it's a great con. And I plan on doing for the cosplay contest, the like opening theme song, and like I'm gonna try to like make my own choreography for it and like perform that there. And I also am trying to do I'm trying to do like a music video, like a fan kind of like, you know, music video to show like, also like partly to show off my costume, my wig, because that wig was like the hardest wig I've ever made. Like, oh my gosh. And you know, the costume, I really went full out. That was kind of when I started going like, I'm gonna use silk for like so much stuff. You know, and I like jacked it with Swarovski crystals and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that actually, because I'm curious to see like how people would react to it, because I've never really like most people don't really know that I'm a singer, you know, so yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to do it though. I hope I hope it goes okay.
Wow, it could be a good idea. I mean, it could be a good revolutionary of all the things that you do. And I'm pretty sure, well, you can follow her to see the final result when it's finished, this kind of cosplay. And like I say, make a mix of these two activities could be very special and make a shine to the different cosplays. And yeah, it's really interesting. But like I know that there are some difficulties in your world, and like in every job, probably that has difficulties. And like we said in the beginning, that the COVID affects to all of us. But behind the COVID, what are the typical problems of a cosplayers? That problems that face day by day, and I know that probably one of the most popular could be the money and the budget and stuff like that. But yeah, what can you tell us about the problems of a cosplayer?
It really like, okay, I mean, for one, obviously, yeah, money, you know, like saving up for it.
Yeah.
You're always going to get, no matter how many followers you have, or regardless, you're always going to get somebody who comments on your thing, and then you're going to think about it for like a month, and they're just going to say like, this character sucks, or like, you know, oh, you look weird. Like literally, it cannot even be like that harsh of a comment. And at least me personally, I'm like, really? No one, if anyone's watching this and you do this, I hate you. Don't do that. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think that's honestly the main thing, especially like the more followers you have, the more it's going to happen. It's kind of like a double-edged sword thing. It's like, cool, more people notice you, but more people notice you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that. Also, honestly, even with like other cosplayers in general too, it can get super competitive. Like that's partly why I stopped cosplaying Rey, is because, and I know a lot of other people too, for some reason with that character, and I think it was partly too just because people would always, even if they weren't cosplaying her, they would always say like, Rey sucks, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, whatever, bro, I'm literally 16. Like, and I just like, you know, at the time I was so young, I was like, you're really bullying like a 16-year-old or something? I don't know, it's so silly. So I don't know, like, I just wish people would be nicer to each other. And, you know, I always just say, like, look, at the end of the day, we are just people, like, dressing up for fun, you know, like, can we not, you know, like, I don't know, with anything, once it starts getting serious, people, you know, get competitive and stuff. But, again, like, you know, I know it's easier said than done, but I'm like, come on, guys, like, can you not be like the other people? Like, we already have people saying we're silly for doing this thing. Like, same with YouTubers, people are like, that's such a stupid job, you know? And I'm like, okay, we don't need our own people telling us this, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they are better things to do. I think that I'm pretty sure. Like a lot of different jobs, I think that we are gonna have, even in the real life, you know, we are gonna have people that hate us, and it's just like that. So I'm pretty sure that, well, I don't know, but like an advice to all that people, not to the haters, because to the haters you just have to get away. That receive probably a lot of hate, because I'm pretty sure that all of us have received hate before. Use that for motivation, you know. Not see the bad things, just see the good things. And probably sounds like a typical phrase, yeah, but I think that all the jobs have odds, have obstacles, and well, I wanted to ask you about the COVID-19, because it's like a typical question that I do to all the guests that we have here in the podcast. And the COVID-19 really affect to your job, or I don't know if maybe you are more autonomous in your job, and it could be more easily to to don't affect you this kind of virus. But I'm pretty sure that in one way, really, no, this affect us in one way, or how do you perceive this virus in your job?
I mean, yeah, like, you know, for one, obviously cons weren't happening. So that was a huge part, because that is where you network with people. That's where you meet other cosplayers, you know, because it's so much different. Even if you've been following someone online for years, when you see them in person, you're like, you know, because we all do it. As much as we know that they're real people, our brain kind of like disconnects. We don't really think of them as that. And then you see them in person and you're like, oh yeah, they're a real human. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can go, no, because like, even if, you know, I've had times where someone seems mean online, you meet them in person, they're super nice, or vice versa. So that was a huge part of it. And just, again, like, it would let us remember, like, okay, again, there's other people like us, you know. So that was definitely, you know, a bad part of it. And I also hadn't even been going to cons that much before. I kind of like, because for budget reasons, for I think like 6 months or something, I hadn't even gone to a con. So I already was like, dang it, I wish I had like, just like, I don't know. And then also for motivation too, I remember like, especially at the beginning, it could be really hard to work on stuff. Like I'd have a week where I was like, no, it's fine. You know, like I can work on it, either maybe do a shoot on my own, you know, for a couple months, or find like a, you know, a close friend that, you know, can do it, or we can maybe distance. I can, you know, trying to figure all that out. But even then it would still suck, because you're like, is this going to end? Like, and even when it does, it's going to be years, maybe, who knows when, you know. And it was just really hard to have motivation. Like I know some people, you know, literally like weren't able to make anything the whole time. They just felt like awful, you know. And I'm grateful at least that, you know, I was able to at least do some. But, you know, definitely if it wasn't happening, I would have for sure made more. But, you know, it's just trying to not tell yourself, you know, like, it's okay, you know, you don't need to do anything. Even if you were planning on doing, you know, a cosplay for one con, it's okay if you don't finish it. You can always, you know, wear something else, or, you know, regardless, like, try not to stress yourself out over something that's supposed to be fun, you know. So I'm still grateful for it though, because, you know, it was still something where I could kind of zone out for a little bit. If I got the motivation, I could still work on it, you know. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like someone said that if a window closes up, you just go for another, you know, for another way to do the things. And yeah, I'm absolutely a huge fan of this kind of events, like comps and all that stuff. And I don't remember the last time that I went to one. Well, even I don't remember the last time that I get the sun, you know, because this is really hard to the situation of the COVID-19. But yeah, we'll have a hard obstacles to pass along, but there are always a way, you know. There's always a way to struggle, and I'm pretty sure of that, that we can find different solutions. Sorry. And well, after talking of this bad situation, I wanted to make like a little mini game of the podcast, call it this or that. I'm pretty sure that you know that this kind of stuff that you have to choose one option of two, this or that. And the game basically consists to choose who cosplay you prefer to do. Well, this kind of a game is this or that, and the first very options that I will tell you is you people of YouTube you're gonna see this kind of costume, you know, Black Widow or Lara Croft. What would you prefer to do?
I think that's tough. Probably Black Widow. She has some like pretty cool costumes. And I definitely I'd have to say that.
And what do you prefer, the black costume or the white of the last movie?
I really like the white one. I think that was really cool. Yeah.
Looks really cool. Okay, the second options are really interesting because there are costumes or to men characters. Sorry, I forgot the word. And it's from Marvel, Captain America or Thor.
I'd have to say Thor. I think
Thor.
his vibe, his costume is pretty cool.
It could be really cool to see this kind of costumes in a woman's edition, because I think that this could be like probably a kind of that we can see in Thor: Love and Thunder, the new movie of Thor, because I think that they are wanting to do this with Natalie Portman, that are gonna performance. I forgot the character's name, but I think that she will be the new Thor, and it's really cool. And Captain America, well, we have seen a little time ago with the episode of What If, with Peggy Carter, and
yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I've seen a couple cosplays of that already. They all look so cool.
Yeah, it looks so cool. So, well, the third options, the two options of the third, it's Princess Cyrilla of Siantra, the character of The Witcher.
Of white. The one with the white hair, right?
White hair, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, or Cruella. This is difficult.
Yeah.
I think both characters are cool.
I'd probably say Cruella, just because, obviously there's different versions of her and stuff, but I love the 1950s, aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I love red lipstick. I think it's cool, the, contrast of, the red, black, and white and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The red costume, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think that Cruella, it will be so much popular costume in this Halloween.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool, yeah.
I have here a lot.
Very easy to spot.
Yeah. Or just a wig,
Right? No, yeah.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Okay, the last options that I will give to you is a character of Marvel and a character of a video game, that is Hela. You know Hela from Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, yeah.
The villain, the sister of Thor and Loki. And I don't know if you know to this character, but it's the villain of Resident Evil Village, Mother Miranda.
Wait, yeah. Are you talking about the newest character, the 30s outfit with the big hat and stuff?
Yeah, it's like a costume of crowd. A costume of crowd and black and have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, definitely that one. I totally forgot her name. But no, yeah, she's so cool. And I love vintage stuff. So I'm yeah. It's
an absolutely original and cool character. I love this game, and we play it here, and everything knows the story here with Mother Miranda. But well, yeah. Talking about or returning the topics a lot. Thank you for participating in this little game, and I want to pass to a little. I will say that it's like an activity, but probably it's like another question. I will choose if you want a cosplay of your website, and you have to define it step by step. And how did you make it, for the people to know how the process that you make to make this cosplay, and if you want, if it doesn't bother you, the people are gonna see this website from you, and I will check. Well, actually, I made my decision before, but yeah, you have to define the step by step, of the cosplay of Harley Quinn, but not the dress, because I know that probably Harley Quinn is one of your favorite characters. Not the typical. I'm talking the dress that is gold and black.
Oh, Club Harley, yeah, that's actually might be my favorite Harley Quinn costume. Oh my god, I love it so much. I actually wanted to make it before even, you know, the classic squad, like Daddy's Little Monster outfit. I love the jacket on that whole outfit's amazing too.
Yeah.
But also very detailed. Like I know it looks simple, it's not. But Club Harley was I just loved it the second I saw it. Basically, I was able to use the same wig that I had dyed for both of them. And I always make sure, like, I always try to use human hair for everything. Like, for that, it's because they already used that. But, like, for other stuff, too, I always try to. But yeah, so, yeah, I already have the wig. And then basically, you know, like, the scene that she's in that is so short. I would just rewatch that, like, 1 minute clip over and over and over. Like, okay, is there anything I'm missing? You know, any little details? For that, I was able to find a forum. I don't remember what website it was, but where like everyone was just like talking about like every little thing, like, oh, like IDing jewelry, because like some of her jewelry was the real designer jewelry. And even by then, most of it, like, you couldn't really find it. I was only able to find, I think, like one of her main rings and maybe one other thing that were the actual ones. Everything else I ended up having to make myself. So like either like modifying jewelry, a lot of stuff I found on eBay, and then I would just like modify it to get it like exact, because they still had a lot like pictures of it, you know, so you could still make it exact. One of like the bracelets was so hard. I had to like make it out of clay and like put all the, it was so difficult. And then like, oh my gosh. And the dress though was pretty cool because the dress is metal mesh. So it's basically like a giant piece of jewelry. And then you have to paint on all the diamonds. So I would try to look up like, okay, like, you know, how, like, see how many diamonds were on hers and everything. I'm cutting the fringe and everything. And then like the strap things were like rhinestone chain. And again, just like, again, like that one really, a lot of other cosplayers like already had so much of the stuff detailed. Like they would have like, you know, I would take screenshots, they would take screenshots, you know, looking at her nails, like, okay, her nails are black and gold, but then they all have little like black and gold tips on all of them. Or, you know, like seeing how her tattoos differ between costumes, you know, like the makeup is always different, you know, on all of them. Like, oh, this scene, they use this exact lipstick. Okay, like, can I find that? You know, like literally just like, again, it takes so long to get everything exactly the same. But it ends up being really cool though. Like, I love like her shoes, like little things you didn't even notice watching the movie. Like her shoes have black fringe on the back with like tiny, tiny gold chains, you know, on the back of them, you know, or just like her jewelry, she has jewelry literally everywhere, like layers and layers, you know, and it looks so cool when it was fully done. It's not the most comfortable thing, for sure. I only brought it to a con once, but the reception is really cool. Like a lot of people were like, oh, I've never seen, you know, anyone cosplay this or anything. You know, so it was really cool. That's like my favorite, probably my favorite Harley Quinn outfit for sure.
See, yeah, absolutely. And for the people who haven't seen these cosplays that Josephine made, are really cool. And I mean, I could say that these are my favorite too, because yeah, it seems like you could say that it's your favorite even if the new attire that Harley Quinn has in Suicide Squad, the new movie, the red and black.
I love the new movie, but honestly, if I had to critique anything in that movie, I did not love her costumes. Like they were cool, but not enough to me that I was willing to spend like a ton of money, a ton of time, you know, recreating them. Her dress kind of looked like my prom dress. It's cool, but
yeah,
a
little simple, yeah.
It, you know? So yeah.
And probably we can see more than her if the David Ayer cut is released.
Yeah, I know, right? I hope.
I hope too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing this process to make this cosplay. Probably the people are seeing in this screen the images of this cosplay. And talking now about a little bit your website. What can you tell us about this little bit project that you have? What can you what can you tell us that you do in this website, and how the people can even support you to make more cosplays?
I'd say mainly just like, I think the most important thing that cosplayers always talk about is we just want to know that like people appreciate our stuff, you know? So like,
Yeah.
you know, like literally, even if it's just a comment that's just like cool, you know, like literally that makes us so much happier because we're like, okay, like a good, like, you know, again, I'm doing this for me, but as much as we say that, you know, you still want people to like appreciate it and stuff, especially if you work really hard on them. So yeah, just like literally like, you know, every once in a while leave a comment if you can, you know, and especially, you know, if you share someone's work on your story, you know, that's like everyone really appreciates it. On my website, really, it's, you know, kind of more, because since obviously, you know, I've been on Instagram for a while, I have a lot of older costumes on there that like a lot of people probably don't even know that I did, because I posted them so long ago. So that's why, partly why I made the website, because it kind of gives you like a very brief description of how I made it, like very brief, and then, you know, like one picture, you know, of each of them, so you can kind of see. I think it's pretty up to date at this point. Again, I haven't put this one up there yet. I haven't shot this costume yet. I like just finished it. But yeah, I'm excited to like add more stuff on there. And it's also kind of good, I guess, for like possible job opportunities and stuff, because, you know, someone could possibly just like email me from there, or, you know, just kind of see everything like faster than like scrolling crap ton of like Instagram posts.
It's amazing, like everything, the thing that you can receive just a little comment can make you the day, you know. And it's really cool, the website you can visit, like I always say here in the description below, and definitely you have to go and check it out, because I'm pretty sure that this girl, it's a really hardworking and a person, and put her heart on all her jobs. You can easily see when you put her heart, you know, when some people, it's really hardworking. So go there, people, and support to Josephine. And so actually talking about this, I wanted to ask you about the cosplays. If there is any cosplay that you have always wanted to do, but for some reason you haven't been able to do it because any situation, I don't know, but some cosplay that you could say, this is my dream cosplay, and I wanted to do it one day.
I mean, there's definitely a lot that like I got some of the things for already, but it's probably going to take me like years to finish them. I always work on too many at once. But definitely one that I really, really want to do is, it's from Phantom of the Opera, same as this. But it's her wishing dress, and I specifically want to do the Broadway version. But
okay.
I know it would like be so expensive, and also it would just take so much time. It's like such a massive gown, and it's all silk, and there's a ton of trims on it and everything. So I've conquered this Phantom outfit, which was kind of like a combination of like a few different shows, and I'm doing like a Vegas one replication of another outfit from that too, which is also has a ton of beads and everything, but I still don't think it's as crazy as that other one. So yeah, one day I would definitely like to do that. And I also want to do another like tribute thing to that, and like sing her song, because it's my favorite song too that she sings in that dress as well. So it would be like dream costume for sure.
Yeah, the people of YouTube are seeing this kind of image to know what kind of cosplay are you referring, and absolutely, it seems like a cool goal, and I wish you all the best. I'm pretty sure that you will get it one day, and I hope so. And well, related to this kind of dimension of the world of cosplaying, do you think that modeling is linked linked to this world of cosplay, or how could you describe this world? Because there are some people that say, I am ugly, you know, and I'm not gonna be successful in this world of cosplay, but they really don't. I mean, they really are. I mean, people, come on. Nothing is really ugly, and you don't have to have this kind of mindset, you know. I'm pretty sure that everything, and we have known a lot of stories that success, and that can, you know, it's just climbing and climbing, and I'm pretty sure that you can achieve everything that you wanted. But for these people that have this kind of ideas, you know, what can you tell us to these people?
I mean, I think, you know, modeling is linked to it, but I don't think necessarily in the way people think. Like, you don't have to look a certain way. Like, again, like, that's another thing people always try to do in the cosplay community, is be very accepting of everyone, you know, but again, that's never, a lot of people don't do that, you know, but again, it's like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to look like a character to cosplay them, you know, like, yeah, is it discouraging, you know, when someone who looks like exactly, you know, like an actor cosplays them, you know, yeah, it kind of is, because pretty much, like, no matter how hard you work on yours, usually everyone's gonna be like, oh, but have you seen, look, it's Kylo Ren, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't really matter, you know, people are still gonna appreciate yours too, you know, and, like, modeling is linked, but, like, as far as, like, you want, you know, you want to try to, like, embody the character that you're doing, you know, like when I go to cons, you know, I don't walk around in character like some people do. I like to go as me, just dressed as, you know, whoever I'm doing, and then you know, obviously for pictures, or if I'm doing a video, okay, then, you know, I'll do that. It would just be too much for me to do the whole day. I'm like, I can't do that. But yeah, it's really, yeah, just like, again, you know, and obviously you get better the more you do it. Like the first time I went to a con, it completely slipped my mind that, oh yeah, you need to have like poses ready, you know, like, you know, so if you're doing a character, try to just, you know, practice a couple poses, you know, before you go. So for pictures, you can just have a few, you know, different go-tos. Because I would just, in every picture, I would just hold my lightsaber and be like, in every single picture. And then, but, you know, the photographers, you know, they'll help you. Like, again, some of them are nice, some of them aren't. But, you know, if you can find one, you know, especially that you'll see a lot of times, you know, they'll try to help you, like, hey, you know, try maybe doing this, you know, or, you know, and again, if you don't like something, you don't have to do it either. Like, but the more times you go, you learn, like, okay, like, it's fine, just, like, have fun, you know, like, try not to stress about it, you know, like, not every picture is going to turn out good, and that's fine. It's like, there's no way for that not to happen, you know, so, yeah.
All of us have probably have a bad photo, you know, and so yeah, follow your dreams, and I'm pretty sure that with the more comfortable that you feel, it's better, you know. That's the main idea, and according to this, what could you say that it could be like the best lesson that you have learned from this world? The best lesson to the first experience that you have with this dimension of the cosplay world to this day, to this very day.
That's so hard. I mean, I've learned there's definitely some things that it helped me, like, just think about more, like, as far as, I mean, obviously, you know, I've always tried to, you know, think about, okay, you know, what do other people think about this and stuff, but honestly, kind of just the fact that, like, everyone can do things differently, and, like, it's totally fine, and, like, it's kind of better that they do it that way, you know, because, like, if you saw, I don't know, this might sound kind of silly, but, like, if you, you know, if you see, like we were saying earlier, you see 5 different people cosplaying the same character, and they all look a little different, and that's super cool, because then, like, you can kind of, like, be like, oh, look, they did this thing, like, differently, or, like, oh, how did you make this thing, you know, and that's fine. Like, you don't need, you know, not everyone needs to do something exactly the same way, because that would be boring, and I know it's kind of like, okay, we get it, like, everyone's different, but, like, it's true, like, just do your thing, and just let everyone do their thing, you know, and try to just remind yourself like it's okay, you know.
Yeah, I'm absolutely agree because you steal my words I'm
Oh, really?
I'm going to
Yeah.
say yeah. See,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I'm totally agree. I think that the main idea, not even of cosplay, I mean, but this world, is that everyone, are different. Everyone, we are different, and that's the interesting thing of life because you are not gonna see the same in one person than in other, and that's what makes you unique, you know. And yeah, this dimension, I'm pretty sure that to all of us, to me, to you, and to all the people that are hearing and seeing this, have learned a lot of this dimension. And finally, to almost finish this episode of podcast, there's a section that is called Q Crowd, that are the questions of the people that have sending me to Instagram. I make a little
Okay.
like a survey, and I choose three of them. And well, the people's name are gonna be appearing this in this screen. So the first question that probably I think that I see this question a couple of times. They say, "Do you know another people who makes cosplays? And for you, who's the best?"
Gosh, okay. Allison Tabitha, that is her name.
Oh, yeah. You know, I know her, but I didn't remember her name too. It's
right? I know. I always forget her name. I feel so bad, but no, she's great. Like
it's
literally,
one of the best. Yeah, definitely one of the best.
yeah. No, yeah. Like she always like every time she does a costume, you're like, she's like, I just threw this together, guys. This is a closet cosplay, and then I'm like, this looks so good. Like, oh my gosh. Like her Nebula makeup was like, that was the first time she did the bald cap, and I was like, wait, what? It looks so good.
I think that she is the one of the picture that looks like Gal Gadot of Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah, she can make herself. Yeah. Also, her like Jack Sparrow cosplay went viral. Like she's the one who started the in and out of cosplay challenge, where they take a picture in her mirror, and then afterwards she was literally Jack Sparrow, and it was like,
yeah,
oh my gosh, it was so cool.
It's an incredible work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would totally fangirl if I ever met her. I'd be like, oh my god.
No problem. Okay, I have the second question, but I think that we have resolved it yet because because it talks about the COVID-19 and how affected your job as a cosplayer, and I think that we have talked about that. So I'm gonna pass to the third question. That is, if I'm gonna read the question that says, if I haven't money, can I be able to becoming a cosplayer?
Wait, sorry, what, if they don't have money?
If I haven't money, yeah, it says the person.
Yeah, you can still do it. It's just, again, like, you know, don't try to do a crazy costume. Like, try to do one, you know, I've done that before where, you know, like, okay, you don't have a ton of money, just do a character that wears, like, regular clothes, you know? Yeah. Like, yeah, I remember doing that. I think that was my least expensive cosplay. And I still try to go for accuracy. So especially if you don't care, if you're just like, you know, as long as it looks close enough, you know, whatever, you can totally do one for like $50, you know, like totally, you know, and no one's going to be like, oh my gosh, it doesn't look perfect. Like, and if they do that, they're rude. Like no one should ever be telling you that. No one should ever be like commenting on that, being like, this isn't good. It's like, yeah. Okay, bro. Like,
totally agree. Totally agree. And I'm really sure that for some people, this kind of cosplays that are like a minimalist, you know, are the best sometimes. And I have heard a lot of times stories that some cosplayers that make her or his cosplay with zero budget, you know, with
oh no, for sure. Yeah, and again, like the more stuff that you're willing to make on your own too, like brings the budget down. Like I could have never afforded to cosplay if I was commissioning all my stuff because it adds so much money, you know, and it's still expensive even without doing that. But yeah, like you can totally do, you know, you can even, again, you can buy one, you know, like there's good ones on Amazon that look pretty good that you can get for like $60, you know, and like it'll still be cool. You're still cosplaying, you know. So what else?
Yeah, totally agree. So sometimes even if you make cosplay like this, it's an or more original idea, you know. And
Yeah.
but yeah, you always have to find a way to make what you like. So thank you so much, Josephine. This is the probably probably the end of this podcast, the number 7, and a huge thanks to you because I was very excited to have a person that can talk us to this world to cosplay, because that's the feeling of this podcast, to have different professions to talk. And yeah, we have this podcast of the Dimensions podcast, and we have the international podcast when we talk with different kind of person of different countries that they can tell us about a little bit of their countries. And finally, Josephine, how to give a good message to other people through your career as a cosplayer, you know? Also, what could you say is the most important thing about being a cosplayer for that people that want to get into this world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like a final phrase.
Just remember, literally just have fun. Try to have fun, because like it's no point if you're stressing yourself out. I always stress myself out with it, and I tell myself, isn't this what I kind of do for fun? You know, so yeah, who cares? Just as long as you're having fun, it's good. And just be respectful of everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Forget about the haters, and yeah, have fun, because this could be seen like a hobby. Don't get so much stressful for the other opinions of the people, you know. You just have to feel happy for what you do, what your job is. And well, this is the end of this episode number 7. I will let the links to the social media of Josephine and her website in the description below. Juan Delgado, and this is the end of the 7th episode of the IA podcast.